Good morning, friends. Welcome to part 5 of the art of investigation of bank frauds. In part 4, we have seen about the difference between breach of contract and fraud. The three important conditions to be fulfilled when a breach of contract is to be treated as a criminal crime is number 1, intention to cheat, number 2, evidence for establishing the intention to cheat, and number 3, part of a larger conspiracy. We have also seen that every crime has to pass through 4 stages. Number 1, intention to commit, number 2, planning to commit, number 3, attempt to commit, and number 4, commission itself. Even attempt to commit is treated as a criminal crime. In this part 5, we will see the difference between a fraud and misrepresentation. In respect of misrepresentation, if someone deliberately, knowing fully well, cheats another person with some false information, knowingly it also tantamounts to cheating. But we need to establish beyond reasonable doubt that the misrepresentation was deliberately done with the intention to cheat, then it becomes a criminal fraud. Otherwise, it is treated as again a breach of contract and the contract becomes null and void. Let me give you an example. One of the borrowers, he came in a vehicle fitted with amber light and also very boldly written the word G in the number plate. So the branch manager mistook him that he was someone from some higher officials from the government agency. He also introduced himself as Secretary Power in the state government. So, under the impression that the borrower who came was the Secretary of State for Power, the branch manager processed the proposal. Later on, fortunately, the branch manager took his ID card, rather the visiting card which he had given, indicating him as an IAS officer and also the Secretary for Power. So this becomes a cheating. We will also see the difference between a scam. A scam is also a fraud, but the same modus operandi used to cheat large number of fraud or large number of institutions, then also it becomes a criminal fraud. So the difference between a fraud and a scam is, in respect of us, it is 1-to-1. The fraudster plus the victim. The victim may be a government department or like banks or a single person. Whereas in respect of scam, it is the fraudster may be a firm or a company, but large number of people are cheated using the same modus operandi. Now, interestingly, there is one more category which is called as money cycle. That means with false promises, people are motivated to join the money cycle groups. They have to join 10 people and subsequently each person has to recruit 10 people like that, and the money cycle starts from there. So these are some of the very important concepts in fraud. One is the fraud, second is the scam. We have seen 2G scam, Sarada chit fund scam, and the third is money cycle. Now, what are the activities, criminal activities involved in these frauds? In general, we have seen that in any fraud, the first step forms in the mind, that is intention to cheat. So, how the intention to cheat, in other words called as mens rea, is to be proved. Intention to cheat is there in one's mind. So it is not that easy to prove what is there in one's mind. So what was their intention to cheat? This needs to be substantiated with documentary evidence. So what are the various criminal activities involved in any crime? Number 1, the first thing is planning. So when a planning comes, we need to understand 90% of the financial frauds are detected accidental. When you are looking out for something, some other thing suddenly crops up. So 90% of the financial frauds come to light by accidents. So the first step involved is planning. Any bank fraud for that matter cannot be done by an individual alone. So the first step that is involved is connivance. How many people are involved? The technical person expert involved in preparing the balance sheets. Everything. So the first step involved. Connivance means involvement of 2 or 3 people. Then the second activity, which is the basis for any fraud, is cheating. So connivance, cheating. Then the third important thing is breach of trust. People have been entrusted with responsibilities, but they resorted to breach of trust. The fourth one is fabrication of documents. Either a fake document, one is using a fake document as a genuine document. Second one is preparation of that fake document. So naturally, who are all the people though they are involved in preparing that fake documents? So all the people who are involved in preparing the fake documents are liable for prosecution. Now, the 3 important acts that is used in number 1 is the Criminal Procedure Code called as CRPC. The second one is Indian Penal Code, IPC, popularly called as IPC. Number 3 is the Prevention of Corruption Act. These are the 3 acts which are very important in dealing with the financial crimes. For that matter, any crime. So let us see elaborately what are all the various important sections that deal with these crimes, and also who is a public servant and what are all the areas. This is with respect to the financial crime. Now the second important aspect is bribery by way of cash or kind. Number 2, accumulation or disproportionate assets. Disproportionate assets to the known source of income is also treated as a criminal crime. What you have earned and what you have accumulated as assets by way of wealth. Now, before we deal elaborately with these 3 important acts, that is Criminal Procedure Code, Indian Penal Code, Prevention of Corruption Act, let me touch upon what is the starting point in many bank fraud is the acceptance of gift value more than rupees 5,000. This has been recently enhanced to 25,000. Public servants, they are supposed to submit every year before June their assets and liability statement. What are all the physical and financial assets held by them as on 31st March. So, whenever they receive costly items as gift, this has to be declared in the assets and liability, movable and immovable assets statement to be given before June every year. In the teaser, we have shown a video showing a paddy field and a flying aircraft. Now, we have also asked to give your observations. During our investigation, we will get lot of documents and also video. We need to be very careful in giving our opinion based on the documents. Now, this video is actually a PowerPoint presentation combining 3-4 photographs and with animation. On seeing the video, you can see the aircraft is flying very low, and even after takeoff, it will go up only and it will not go on a parallel basis. That is observation number 1. The observation number 2, when the aircraft is crossing the field, the birds, though in flying motion it is shown, the birds are still freezed. So that means it is just a photographic image pasted on the paddy feed. So this video is not actual video, it is only a PowerPoint presentation which has been converted into a video. More about the applicable laws and about the gift we will see in our next session.